Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rohit. I'm the Chief Business Officer of a company called Fyno. Fyno is about 3 years into existence right now, and we are going after one of the most invisible and a boring problem that exists in BFSI, yet it can have impacts which ranges between billions of dollars. Very quickly, we're a B2B company, a license company. We sell our licenses to banks and BFSI primarily. Let's establish the problem. So let's get to some context first. India is perhaps the most complex messaging market in India. We have about 10 plus channels that BFSI tries to reach out to their customers. This could be SMS, email, app notifications, WhatsApp, RCS being the new entrant in the entire ecosystem. There are 100 plus financial applications within a bank, and I'll take bank as an example, but please feel free to extrapolate to all BFSI. There are 100 plus applications within a bank which communicates to their customers. It could be simple OTP alerts, UPI alerts, transaction alerts, so on and so forth. And when you look at this ecosystem, real-time interactions or real-time capabilities are table stakes. You cannot delay an OTP or a transaction alert going to a bank, going to a customer. These messages are highly regulated. If you send out a message of a specific transaction confirmation, you can be held accountable. A bank might have to reverse a transaction if the message content was incorrect. Likewise, on the other side, customers are expecting banks to be more and more omni-channel. They want their privacies and flexibilities, preferences to be sort of honored. And if you look at the meta picture here, Indian BFSI alone spends about 10,000 crores every year on these alerts. Now, we're talking about thousands of crores currently being managed using dumb pipes. Now, what do I mean when I say dumb pipes? Unfortunately, unlike the MarTech ecosystem, which has evolved with real-time orchestration, these alerting ecosystems have always been this invisible problem nobody has paid attention to, which is piling up thousands of crores of dead cost within a company. You do a transaction of 10 rupees with a person, a bank has to send two alerts, one on the credit side and the other on the debit side, and this alert has zero ROI on this. And the magnanimous volume of the aggregate being 10,000 crores is itself appealing. Now, what we said, and obviously there are other compliance issues and deliverability problems which are add-on problems because of lack of orchestration, but that was the impact of, what's the impact of this dumb pipes which does not have a unified messaging brain. Every year about 3 to 4,000 crores are lost. These 3 to 4,000 crores are money wasted due to unnecessary spillages which should not ideally exist. Delivery failures can lead to transaction failures, yet India has a delivery rate of only 95% on one of the most prominent channel being SMS. Customer experience, it's always challenging, probably will never get to 100%. Compliance vulnerabilities, over the last 2 years, RBI has slapped about 6 banks with crores amounting up to 25 crores. And like I mentioned, this 10,000 crores has zero ROI on it. Now, this was the premise why Fyno was born. Can we create real-time orchestration capabilities on an event-driven architecture, offer it to bank as a license model, give some wings to those dead cost alerts which could potentially drive ROI and upsell or cross-sell opportunities. Imagine you're doing a 50,000 rupee transaction on UPI, suddenly you get an alert saying that, hey, had you done this transaction using a RuPay credit card, you'd probably have gotten $1,000. It's easier said than done. The problem here is not the fact that nobody thought about it. The problem here is the underlying engineering infra, the scale at which this has to operate with real-time event-driven architecture, and that's our superpower that Fyno came up with. Also, we have an unbiased or an unfair advantage to sort of know more about this problem. The founding team comes with building CPaaS as an industry. We're talking about a company called Kalera, which was listed in New York Stock Exchange 2019, finally acquired by Tata. So a lot of what we wanted to do in Kalera, which we could not do because structurally we were incapable of building a technology brain, is something that we started building out in Fyno. So we have four core team members, 2 of them who've built a company, sold it to Tata Comms, and now are on the other side of the spectrum, helping banks to optimize those messaging costs. This is a quick overview of where Fyno operates. We connect to all the core systems or applications of the bank. You can see 6, but there are about 100, 200 applications depending on the size of the bank. On the other side, on the upstream level, we connect to every partner that the bank works with. It could be across channels. Some of these channels are their own channels, like their mobile banking or web internet banking applications. Then on top of it, we provide real-time orchestration capabilities. This would include user consent management, user preference management, querying their database to check whether are you sending a loan offer to somebody who's holding probably 10 crores worth of FD in your bank. So we do that real time, and ensure that every message or every nudge that you send out to your customers is contextual, intelligent, and is not wasting a lot of money. Uh, Now, where are we? We started with just building a messaging middleware, a brain that could control billions of messages every day for banks. Eventually, because we became the foundational layer for every bank to communicate to their customers, the requirements kept expanding. We've built now a suite of products which complements our main messaging hub. This includes an in-app messaging layer which is loaded onto their mobile applications, a communication consent layer where customer can choose where does he or she want to receive the alert, a communication operating system. Very quickly, just want to demonstrate, talk about a very recent and a nice phenomenon that happened. One of the banks was using an AI agent on top of our system, and we did not even know about it. So, and when we spoke to the bank, we realized that we've built a communication operating system where any agent can be deployed, and they never have to worry about whether this agent is going to perform what it is expected to. So this was a positioning provided to us by a bank that, hey, now you've become like a communication operating system where I can just deploy my AI agents, and all the AI co-pilots which kept failing for the last 2 years are now succeeding because we gave them a ready to play, ready to go live plug and play infrastructure technology on communications. We are also powering very detailed loan onboarding journeys, credit card journeys on WhatsApp because of our tech partnership with WhatsApp. And we've built some database connections, and this is only increasing. But what I see over the next few years is that we will become this default communication operating system. We also have a structural right to win because unfortunately the way market works today, there are certain legacy CCMs in the market which only worked on statement generations and print. There were basic middlewares or dumb pipes which were currently getting deployed at banks. We were one of those when we were building Kalera about 10 years ago. And structurally, it is impossible for them to innovate on technology because they will never come back to you, or they'll never come back to banks and say that, hey, I'm going to reduce your messaging cost, or I'm going to give you an uplifting ROI on the dead cost that was being spent on us. So that's the competitive landscape. We have a structural right to win. Quick metrics: we're about $1 million in revenue 3 years into existence. BFSI sales cycles are longer, but we're shortening it. We are about 10 BFSI logos already. Scaling healthily, will be EBITDA positive by March 27. So yes,